polling since 2014 has shown that a majority of Americans say that the country is headed in the wrong direction. Why is that? When you drill down and you look at why people are saying that, what are the specific reasons for that?
But actually, it's the number that says right direction has come up. It's been like 2/3 wrong track since 14 because of the Barack Obama policies. And that's what happened when we ran a change message in the Trump campaign, where first time I polled, do you want to continue Obama's policies or do you want to change? In September of 2015, 57 to 34, they said they want to change. The majority of Americans, all voters. So Donald Trump is actually pushing the country where we're having the first set of right direction numbers, where it's over 40%. It's the first time in 4 years. And the number saying wrong track is just around 50%. So the Trump voters, Republicans, and now a great deal of number of independents are actually saying it's in the right direction. So it's headed in a positive direction. And with it, the president's job approval is grinding up, where we had in July, we had him at 48 approved, 50 disapproved.
Right.
And Rasmussen this week had him at 50% approved. So as the economy goes up, as you rightly pointed out, his job approval is going up.
And I want to drill down on all these numbers you just mentioned, but first back to whether the country's headed in the right direction or the wrong direction. As you mentioned, that gap has narrowed significantly from around 69% when the president was sworn in to now around somewhere in the low 50s, depending on which numbers and which week of the numbers you're looking at. So this bodes very well for the president of the United States. Is it also a function, though, of partisan politics when, for example, you have a Republican in the White House? The Democrats are going to necessarily say the country's headed in the wrong direction. When there's a Democrat in the White House, the Republicans are necessarily going to say it's going in the wrong direction?
Well, there's some of that, but actually what's moving the middle ground is, as you pointed out, the good economic prosperity. I mean, people in focus groups are telling us for the first time in years, they're seeing help wanted signs.
Right.
They feel secure in their jobs. They feel like they can get a pay raise. And they said they haven't seen that in years. And related to the congressional elections, they're telling us that if we go back to the Democrats controlling Congress, they're afraid they're going to lose their jobs. They're afraid that they won't get the pay raises. They're going to go back to the stagnation they saw over the last 8 years.
And this is completely or underreported in the mainstream media. That's a significant statement you just issued right there. And it's astounding to me. I want to go back to the campaign just real quick. I want to deviate just a hair here.
Sure.
All the pollsters, virtually all of them, 90% of them, said that Hillary Clinton was going to win, including 538, which touts itself as this numerical genius, if you will. It had I think it was a 71% chance of Hillary Clinton winning the election going into Election Day. Now 538 is saying that there's a 75% chance that the Democrats are going to take control of the House of Representatives. This throws, it goes in the face of the polling, obviously of the election results, but I would imagine of the internal polling that you had during the election. Were you seeing the numbers that 538 and the mainstream media were spewing out there during the campaign?
No, what was happening was they were running a static model saying that, oh, Hillary Clinton's going to get the same vote that Barack Obama had. And we have a great deal of respect for Barack Obama's political skills, but she wasn't Barack Obama. And they didn't realize that there's a certain number of younger voters, African-American voters, they weren't coming out for her like they did for Obama. So when we were doing the polling, in fact, the Sunday before the election, Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law, called me up and says, Brad Parscale, who was doing our digital stuff, was certain we were going to win based on the analytics of the battleground states. And I had all the polling. Let's get together and talk about it. And the polling said we were dead even. We were in play. We had the strategy about bringing out new voters.
Right.
And we brought out Trump voters who enabled us to win the Sun Belt states and the Rust Belt states for a Heartland coalition. So we had a record number of voters, 139 million, 9 million more than the last time Obama was elected. And they went overwhelmingly for the president.
And we were able. The mainstream media and the mainstream pollers simply were not counting that group of people. In other words, they couldn't accurately measure the energy that was behind the support for Donald Trump. But let's look at the generic congressional polling. I always find this a fascinating poll. The Democrats are slightly up right now, but it's been in a tight range really since 2016. How meaningful is a generic congressional ballot? Because we all know that people don't vote generically. They vote for a Nancy Pelosi, believe it or not, in San Francisco, but they also vote for a Congressman Nunes, a few miles down the road, also in California. Vastly different.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.